Hello and welcome. I am Scriberlock, and this is City of Villains on the Rebirth server. We are with Nightmare Lass, our level 34 supervillain, Mastermind, who has 2.59 million XP earned, 465,000 to go to get to level 35 and our next secondary power and 138.8 million infamy. We're on a story arc for Hardlock. We're actually doing missions for Hardlock. We don't have his story yet. He says his kid brother just called. He's in trouble with the council and he wants us to go save his kid brother. I'm not going to read you the details of the mission because it's not really a story arc yet. Actually, it is. Okay, so his kid brother was working for the council. He thinks his kid brother's about to be kidnapped, I guess, and we have to go probably beat up a bunch of council and save his kid brother. And now we are on Hard Luck's storyline. So it's been a day since I last recorded. I was having a migraine last night. I'm still kind of in the middle of it, but I feel better. My headache is gone. I have other aches and pains still throughout my body, but at least the headache part is over, and I feel able to record again. Whoops. Oh, somebody's shooting at me. Yeah, I didn't realize these guys were there. My demons will take care of them since they're green cons. Of course, they're like white cons to my demons, the little ones, but that was a little sloppy. I didn't really think about what level. I'm so used to being way above the level of the zone, or high level to the zone, that I didn't really think about that. Alright. In we go. Because I was high level to Nerva for a long time. But now we're in a higher level zone, and there will be lots of guys in the mid and upper 30s that we have to watch out for, although those guys are only level 32. Let me buff my guys. And I don't think we need the damage, so we'll give it to Curly. And now we are going to see if we can find Hardluck's brother and save him. So as I mentioned in the previous episode, I've started playing Planet Zoo. I've now posted the first episode of that. So if you want to see me play a different game, feel free to try it. There are going to be a lot of growing pains with that game because unlike City of Heroes, which I already knew a lot about before I ever started making a Let's Play, because I had played it for years before the game, the plug was pulled on the game, and I knew a lot about it, and especially knew how to play a martial arts super reflex grapper, which is one of the only characters I'd ever gotten to level 50 in the live game. When it comes to something like Planet Zoo, I have not played it before. There are some things that are similar to how they worked in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, which I played a lot of and was very good at. But there are lots of things that are different, and so I'm going to have to learn as I go, particularly learning the keybinds and the controls. That's going to take me a long time to get really comfortable and fluid with. And the one thing I did notice watching the videos after having recorded them is the camera movements that I do may not be super pleasant to watch. I apologize for that. I'm still getting the hang of how that game's camera mode works versus this game, which is extremely intuitive to me because I've played it so much. Alright, well, we're going to get back to this game since we're playing City of Heroes, or Villains, not Planet Zoo, and if you want to hear more about Planet Zoo, you can watch the other playlist. I'm not sure where the brother will be here, but, you know, I always follow the rule of go as deep into the dungeon as you can, because sort of dungeon map logic is you put the target all the way in to force the player to experience the entire dungeon. And I actually don't necessarily always do that in my D&D game because I feel like that's not necessarily realistic. It's really more sort of metagaming on the part of the DM to try and force the players to go through the whole map. Look, I built this whole map. I want you to experience it all, but I don't actually feel that way. I mean, there is a consequence to my players of not experiencing the whole map. There are actually two consequences. One is they miss a bunch of cool treasure. One of my players is very focused on what magic items his character should have or what he wants. Well, I put something really cool in there for him. His character is a human. He's one of the only characters that doesn't have dark vision. The other character who doesn't have dark vision is a cleric, who's a light cleric, so he has the light cantrip, but the sorcerer doesn't. And so he really doesn't have the ability to provide his own light. The cleric can give him some, right? He can cast light on the sorcerer's ring or something, and that'll give the sorcerer light, but it would be nice if he had his own way of dealing with it. And also, using light destroys any chance of stealth. And this looks like, there he is. And so, one of the things I put in there that I thought the sorcerer would really like are these goggles of the night. They're basically a D&D version of infrared goggles or UV goggles, and so I thought he would like it. But I put them in this necropolis that they decided not to explore all of. They didn't have to explore it all, and they were trying to rescue somebody, so they were kind of beelining that, and that's fine. I fully anticipated that they might beeline the necropolis and not explore the place that had the goggles of the night, but the consequence of skipping some of the content is you don't get all the treasure. And that's just going to have to be the way it works. The other consequence is they might not get as much experience because, right, they've missed some of the goals and milestones. So in terms of the rewards, right, you do less content, you get fewer rewards. Just like here, if we beeline this mission, and I'm going to have to turn off stealth and get to the ground here. If we beeline this mission, we don't defeat as many enemies, we don't get as much experience, we don't get as many bulbs. You have to do more missions in order to gain levels. So you're not really kind of gaining anything by skipping the content here. In my game, of course, they don't get experience per kill. I don't do that. They get experience for completing mission goals and things like that. And again, I don't care if they skip it, but there is a second consequence over and above the fact that they might lose out on some rewards like treasure and experience. Also, if they blow through a dungeon that I expected them to take 3 weeks on or 4 weeks on in a week, and I don't have the next dungeon ready, we may not be able to play next session. I may have to say we got to wait. I'm going to make sure we heal here because I want to make sure, since this guy is fighting, that he gets healed. Okay, guys, keep coming with me. So yeah, they're going through this ruined Roman fortress right now, and they just got in there. And I think I mentioned this before. They got in, and I made 17. I kid you not. I am not exaggerating. I counted 17 maps, not including the overview map of the fortress. I made 17 area maps, like zoomed in battle maps for ruined barracks. This is a Roman fort. Ruined barracks, the ruined temple, the ruined granary, and things like this. And I populated them with monsters and potentially treasure. And oh, I went out. Okay, well, we got the mission. I clicked on the door by accident because I was talking. So I populated this whole thing. I created all these maps, and they got into the they got into the fortress. They looked around a little bit, got scared by the fact that they saw a wyvern flying around. They could totally take a wyvern out. The wyvern is a lower challenge rating than a hydra that they completely owned in the sewers. But they crept through the sewers. They went up through the sewer grate. They looked around a little bit, and they were like, okay, we've seen enough. Do we want to just go back to Rome and tell them what we saw? And I was like, oh my gosh, if they just walk out of here. I mean, I spent weeks developing this thing. If they just walk out of here, I don't have what's next. I assumed it's October now. It was October 10th or something. The last time we played when they first entered this ruined town. I thought this was going to go till like Thanksgiving, and then at the end of that session, I was going to say, okay, let's break for the holidays. Tell me where you want to go next, and I will build that area. But if they finished it last week, I would have had to say, well, you can tell me where you want to go next, but we may not be able to pick that up for a month because I'm going to have to build that area. So one of the consequences of them skipping stuff is they may have to wait. And the one guy, like every week that we don't play, he says, are we playing this week? No, it's next week. And I think he's just really hot to keep playing. So I don't think he's going to want to wait 4, 6, 8 weeks for me to build a dungeon. Well, if you don't want to wait, then you need to explore the dungeon I actually built. So we'll see what they do. They've changed their mind, and now they've hunkered down in some ruined barracks, and they're going to try waiting for the night to pass and then see what happens during the day. And one of the clues I gave them is the wyvern that was flying around. They didn't hear it roaring at night, so that's a clue that they might be able to move around at night without it seeing them. What they don't know is if this is the fort, the wyvern goes around it every 10 minutes. He does 2 laps, and then he takes a 10-minute break and then does 2 more laps. So one thing they could do is time it so that, if they're up here, move around when the wyvern's down here. The other thing they could do is time it to move around during the 10 minutes when he's taking his break. And the third thing is, what they don't realize is this wyvern is actually watching the outside. He's patrolling the edges of the fort, looking for attacks from the outside. There are patrols of lizard folk on the inside that are watching the inside, but the wyvern's job is to keep an eye on the outside and make sure that if any Roman armies start marching toward them, that he warns the interior. There isn't a big enough force to stop a Roman legion here, but the bad guys could get such a force there if they needed to, which could become a problem for the heroes if they sort of trip the wrong alarm. So we'll see what happens. But if they just walk out of there, I don't have anything else prepared because I don't know what they're going to want to do next. So anyway, however, I didn't set the map up so that they had to go through the whole map because I didn't have time to make any other maps. If they wanted to walk in and walk out and go back to the town and report what they found and say, let's do something else, that's fine. They just might have to see behind the curtain a little bit and discover, because so far they've been able to go wherever they want and I've had it prepared. They might have to see behind the curtain a little bit and discover that I don't have anything prepared beyond this because I don't know where they're going to want to go next. And I was sort of assuming I'd have the holiday season to prep whatever that was. So, all right, that's enough of that. Let's talk to our contact, Hard Luck. He says, my kid brother is safe thanks to you. I can't guarantee that he'll stay that way. After all, being near me usually means a heavy dose of rotten luck. And now he'll sell me enhancements. So now the unlucky artifact. So this seems to be what the story arc is, and my guess is this is going to be why he's unlucky. I've got a situation on my hands, Nightmare Lass. There's a high roller in the casino who's been throwing sevens all night. He's too important to threaten and way too important to kill, so we got to break his luck another way. I've heard of a mystic who has some sort of a lucky talisman, or unlucky talisman rather. It's an artifact that brings bad luck to all around the owner. We got to get that artifact, Nightmare Lass, and by we, I mean you. Now the guy carrying the blood of Shang-Chi may try to run. If he gets away, this job will be a failure. So now we have to watch out. This is going to be one of these stop the enemy from escaping missions. So as you know, I've been a little sloppy on those once or twice and not been able to succeed. The last time, I actually don't feel like I did anything wrong. The enemy was standing on a little island on an outdoor map. I was watching him. I fought other guys, and then all of a sudden the mission ended. He didn't run past me. He didn't run anywhere. It just ended. So I don't know if that meant he was going to leave through where he was standing or what have you. Here, he should have to get out the exit, but just because he should have to doesn't mean that he will have to. So we're just going to have to see if we can prevent him. The rather sad part of all this is it doesn't really matter if we fail. We're still going to get the next part of the story arc. It would have been nice if they had made branching story arcs, where if you fail it goes one way, and if you succeed it goes another way. But they never really did that in City of Heroes. For all the other sophistication that the engine couldn't handle that they tried to do with dialogue and kind of acting and emoting going on inside the missions that just made the missions boring and less fun, the one thing they could have potentially done was develop branching story arcs where if you fail the first mission it goes one way, and if you succeed it goes another way, and that would really increase the replayability of the game. Did I forget to give these guys buffs again? I think I did. Alright. We are fighting the COT. And there is a Demon Lord, so let's see if we can gang up on him. I'm going to take an accuracy inspiration just to make sure I hit. I can't believe I still missed him. That is ridiculous. I seem to crit fail on that an awful lot. I mean, I know he's an orange con, but I have 2. Whoops. No, no, no. Oh, darn it. Okay. Yeah, I accidentally clicked on the wrong guy and made them attack him. Yep, that was my screw up, and I'm stuck here now because of the mud. Alright, let's bring him back. Yeah, I just hit tab instead of control tab, I guess. Let's make sure control tab isn't messed up for me. No, it's right. Okay, let's hit the Battlemaster first and see if we can freeze him. What? Why did they attack the other guy when I had targeted the Battlemaster? Okay, well that's going to make this fight really annoying. Right, they're not going to be able to hit him now. You can see it. They're just whiffing. Let me give Corelli a buff and see if maybe he can freeze him. But I don't understand why they attacked the Behemoth, the other guys, when I told them to attack the Behemoth Master on purpose. There we go. He's frozen. Now they'll hit him. But that should have happened first. I mean, I purposely tried to get them to do that, and they attacked the other guys first. I don't know why. Alright, let's see if we can get this Spectral Demon over here. Nope, can't hit him either. That just... I swear that thing must... It claims it has a 1.00 accuracy, but it acts as... Oh, there he is. It acts as if... It acts as if it has like a 0.8 accuracy. Let's give Curly a little bit of resistance. Let's heal up Larry. Yeah, we got him. We should be able to kick his butt. I'm lucky we got him. And we have completed the mission, but we're going to finish these guys off. Earned a badge. Excellent. The Bad Luck badge. Very cool. Nice job, guys. That was a quick mission, so I think we can do one more. He says, "Great. I'll be sure to hang out in the casino when Mr. Moneybags is playing his next game of craps. This ought to have him throwing some snake eyes." No clues. So he says the family's got a problem, Nightmare Lass. Big ones. See, Arachnos expects to gain a certain kickback in exchange for the protection here on the Rogue Isles. Problem is, Giza's been pulling in a little more money than we've let on. Now, one of the Arachnos oversight officers has found out about it. Eliminate the oversight office. And we have 45 minutes to do this one. Okay. Alright guys, I'm going to pause it here, and I will bring you back when we are in mission. Alright, we're back. We are at the mission site. This will definitely be our last mission, because I need to stop and get some food. It's nearly dinner time here, and I need to make dinner. So... But we're going to finish with this mission. 43 minutes to defeat all operatives in the base. This, I guess, will be an Arachnos base. Hopefully it won't be a huge one. They always seem to like to give me missions that are insanely long right when I say, okay, this is the last mission, and then I'm going to stop. And then force me to play for half an hour when I wanted to play for 10 minutes. Tarantulas. Let's give Curly some extra damage. We don't really need the damage ones. Let's make sure he has Mez defense, because the Mews like to Mez. Good deal. I have the feeling we need to go this way to make sure that we've cleaned it out okay. I had the feeling it's going to go the other way, but I wanted to make sure that we cleaned everything out, because this is a defeat all timed mission, so we can't miss anything. And it's a pretty short timed mission. Hopefully that means it won't be like 5 levels, but you know, it's interesting. There's some pretty cool special effects to these Arachnos characters, but as I talked about, like, the various factions, the one faction I absolutely don't like is Arachnos. Not a fan of spider stuff, never liked Spider-Man. Not a big fan of spidery themed characters. And but I also don't like the Mews, I don't like the spider robots. I just think it's all kind of, I don't know. It's not creepy, if it's supposed to be, and I just don't find it as engaging thematically as things like Circle of Thorns or the Tsu or the Freak Show. I don't know why that is, but I've just never really liked Arachnos. I don't like their bases. I find the bases, as unrealistic as all the other maps are, I find the bases even more wildly unrealistic. Like, who would build a base like this with all this mesh work? It's just like, why? You're in a cave. Why would you build a meshwork so that people can see the walls of a cave? Doesn't even make any sense. All these levels that people would just fall off of if they were actually working in this place, and that is the mission? Wow, that is a really short mission. Well, I guess I'm thankful for that, guys, because I'm getting hungry. We completed that mission, and now we are going to talk to our contact. Now, one thing I'm not sure about is that really part of the story arc, or do we need, I think we need to do this freak show on the streets. So we have to defeat 10 freak show. You know I don't like doing that, so I will do that off screen. And then I will bring you guys back in another day or so when we do the next episode. Until then, I am Scrapperlock, and this has been City of Villains.